my creative critters, and welcome to Sketching with Sarah. This is part 2 of my Wisconsin drawing at the zoo adventures, sketchbook tour, I guess. So if you haven't seen part 1, definitely check that out. I'll have a link somewhere for you to check it out. But let's get right into part 2. So I believe I stopped here intentionally because it's the start of when I went to the Milwaukee Zoo and the start of the sketches that I did watching animals from there. And I believe the first animals that my brother and I saw when we were kind of wandering around was the farm animals. They had like a whole farm animal area of the zoo, and there were some chickens, and there was a little porcupine. It was so cute. I think it was eating some lettuce or something, and if I have a video or a photo, I'll definitely pop it here so you can see the little porcupine man. Also, for the Milwaukee Zoo, it is quite a bit larger than the Racine Zoo, which is the other zoo that I went to on this trip. So it was a lot of walking and it was a lot of exhaustion on my end, so I didn't do a whole lot of drawing because we were tired and it was a really hot day. So that made it even more miserable. So I did a little bit less drawing and a lot more like video taking and photo taking. So I can always look at those later on. So I'll be popping images and videos of other animals and stuff here and there that I don't draw. I'll probably have those towards the end of the video so you can see all the other animals that I saw but not necessarily was able to capture in my sketchbook. So there was a little chicken that was just hanging out. This one was like being real lazy, or maybe it was just overheated, I don't know. But all the other chickens were kind of like scurrying around the rest of the pen, but this guy was just hanging back, being a little chicken nugget. I think it was shady there if I remember correctly, maybe that's why. It was just being a little nugget. Anyway, it was really cute and wholesome because it was kind of like squished when it was sitting. I don't know how to explain it, but like I said, I'll pop an image or whatever so you can see what I'm talking about. And then the next exhibit that I remember, again, this was like back in August, so I'm trying to remember based off of photos and stuff that I took as well as my sketchbook, but I think the next exhibit, or the next main exhibit, was the gazelles and cranes and like vultures and stuff. So I do remember, however, there was a peacock that was kind of nested in the landscape. Like there were some benches, and then there was like the sidewalk where there was like the fence thing where there was an exhibit. I don't know how to explain it, but either way, there was a peacock just hanging out in some of the landscaping. So that was a very, very nice opportunity to get up close to a peacock. And he was in a really interesting pose. I don't know, I kind of liked how the body was back, but like the neck was going that way, and I don't know, I just liked how everything was positioned in the way that it was posed. And I probably have an image or video, but I believe by where this peacock was, there's the big exhibit that I was talking about where there was like a fence, and then it was just like a big enclosure. So we were kind of up higher, there was a fence, and then down low, and like there was a bunch of land where there were a lot of cranes and gazelles and other animals just kind of walking around and grazing. It was so hot that day. I can't express to you how hot and humid and sunny that day was. So there was a lot of like the gazelles were kicking and like ears were flapping, and they were doing all kinds of movements to try and get the bugs off of them to cool off. So a lot of these sketches were just very bare minimum. I mean, this one's literally like 2 sticks, a feather looking shape, and like, so, you know, a lot of these sketches are rough, but I think that's part of the challenge and the fun of sketching from life, and especially sketching from animals that you can't really control and pose. So I do specifically remember this crane though. It was so eye-catching for me because they had this really like fanned out kind of crown on their head, and it was so fuzzy and funny looking, and I really enjoyed them. So I had to get one of them down in my sketchbook just to remember that, because I'm not sure how well of a video or a photo I was able to get of them, but like I said, I'll have an image or a video if I find one. But they were so far away, it was really hard to get videos of some of these animals, so I definitely wanted to make sure to get one down in my sketchbook. And then over here, I believe this was a hyena. I'll put up a photo here. If I took one, it was hanging out on a rock, I think, and there was a couple other hyenas probably elsewhere too, but it was so hot that day. All the animals were just trying to chill, honestly. So it was probably just hanging out on the rock, napping. But I was really interested in like the shape of the hyena's nose, like its snout, and then like how fluffy and round their ears were too. I thought that was very interesting. So I definitely wanted to draw a hyena. I don't see them very often, so It was kind of cool to see one in person. And then we get to the Lioness Enclosure. There were a bunch of other big cats there too, and to be honest, I spent a lot of time drawing the lionesses because they were so lovely and posed so nicely. Like, I will put videos and photos. I took so many videos of photos of these lionesses. I'm not sure if they were sisters or what, but they were just so photogenic, I swear. They were in such great poses. When they did switch poses, they were very graceful about it. So I was able to, stop that drawing and move on to another one if I had to. I think this might have been like a scribble between like poses maybe, and I was like, okay, I give up on that one, let me work on another one or something. But man, I'm telling you, they were just living the dream. I think they loved all the eyes on them, I'm sure, but they're mostly napping and just hanging out together. The next page looks like we have an ostrich here, just like a really quick ostrich sketch. And I think in the same exhibit they had zebras too, if I'm not mistaken. So I probably drew those around the same time. And yeah, I specifically remember they were all, kicking and itching and twitching. Like, there were a lot of bugs, I'm sure. It was a very hot day. So everyone's ears were flapping and tails whipping and they were kicking and all kinds of stuff. So really rough sketches, but it was kind of nice to get a couple of them in here anyway. And then we have, looks like an elephant. I loved watching the elephant so much. I don't get to see elephants very much in person, obviously. I don't live in Africa or anything like that. But they're just so, I can't get over elephants. They're amazing. I'll put images and photos and videos that I take. I'll put them all here for you to see. They were really active, I think, too. I think some of them were walking around more than others. I feel like a couple of them were pacing, which was kind of not the best to see. But I also really appreciate seeing them up close because a lot of them went right up to the fence, which is really nice to be able to see the textures on them and everything. And I think some of them were playing. They were all probably just trying to cool off, to be honest. Like, it was really hot that day. They were just doing whatever they could to keep the airflow flapping, in their ears and everything. So, but yeah, I really enjoyed watching the elephants. I really wish I could have spent way more time drawing the elephants, but their exhibit was just straight sunlight everywhere. There was no shade whatsoever anywhere around their exhibit. And when there was, the elephants weren't there really. They were in the shaded areas in the exhibit, so it was hard to see them. And like I said, it was just so hot that day. We didn't want to stand around in the sun for very long, so I wish we could have really hung out by them, but we really could not. So, and there were some camels, I believe, and they were kind of fun to watch. They were all up against the wall, and there was a little baby one too. It was so cute. Like I said, I'll be popping images all over the place, as well as videos and anything that I can find from that trip. Yeah, I'm pretty sure either it was cool there or there was water there or something, because they were all next to this wall. Trying to stay as cool as possible, I'm sure. And then I think here randomly it's just giraffe feet, I guess. I specifically remember, oh my gosh, the giraffes that were there, they were so the center of attention. I swear, they loved it. They were coming right up to the fence, and I have a lot of videos and pictures of looking straight up neck of a giraffe, and they were just so soaking up all of the attention from all the tourists kind of walking around and stuff. And since they're so tall, they're able to really get their neck over the fence to above where the people are walking and stuff. It was just so funny to see them really soak up all the attention. It was kind of nice. But while everyone was in the ideal places to really look at the animals, it was pretty crowded in those areas. So me and my brother were kind of on the side, and I was able to really get a good study of their feet, because they're really tall. So eye level is their knee. So I was able to watch their feet a little bit and really draw those hooves. Plus, I'm pretty sure the giraffes were either eating or they were also moving around a lot. So that was probably the most stationary part of them that I could study for a little bit when I'm not, trying to get out of the way from other people. But yeah, you'll see in the videos and whatever that I pop up here that they were really up close and personal with us. So it was kind of cool. I never got to be so close to a giraffe. So the next page, I think these are all from the reptile house, I'm assuming, because they're almost all reptiles. We've got an iguana, some snakes, some other snakes, an alligator, I think, or crocodile. And then we got like a random bird over here, so kind of all over the place, but I'm pretty sure this is the last page of like drawings that I did from the Milwaukee Zoo, because like I said before, it was hot that day and I didn't have a lot of energy. So I won't even lie, I didn't have a lot of energy to draw everything that I saw. It was a big zoo, we were walking around a lot and it was very hot, so we did our best. I wish I could go visit that zoo multiple times during that trip, but sadly we could not. It was also quite a drive to be doing multiple times, but I'm just happy we were able to go at least once. But yeah, this is where I'm gonna do like a dump of a whole bunch of other videos and fun things that I saw at the Milwaukee Zoo. Most memorably, I think, and specifically why I don't even have a sketch of that animal in my sketchbook for this section from the Milwaukee Zoo, is because it was just too entertaining to watch them, and that is the tiger. It was so fun watching the tiger playing and running around and trying to eat this like bloodsicle, popsicle looking thing and eating some meat. It was just so active every time we passed, and it was in the same like enclosure area as the lionesses and I think the cheetah, if I remember right. There were a bunch of other big cats in that kind of same general area as well. But it was so fun watching that tiger, and we got some really gorgeous videos and photos of him. Or her, I don't really know. But I definitely want to share those videos with you guys. It was so fun to watch. But like I said, since it was moving around so much, it wasn't ideal for just sitting and drawing. Plus, we were trying to get out of the way as much as we possibly could, so there was no place to sit anyway. That's just one off the top of my head that I really enjoyed. Another notable experience that we had at the Milwaukee Zoo is the flamingos, because it was surprisingly threatening when like 50 flamingos walk toward you. Like, as graceful and as elegant as flamingos are, when there's like 50 speed walking towards you, it's a little creepy, I won't lie. So I'll definitely pop an image or video of that here too so you can see what I'm talking about. But the rest of this video will just kind of be random clips that I took and some photos, and I hope you enjoy. Really quick though, the last page of sketches that I had from this trip, it was just the last time that we went to Racing Zoo before we left, and it was just, you know, a drawing of the rhino again, so you could really see those protruding horns really well. And I think I wrote down, I guess Barney and Bam Bam were the name of the lynxes, and I'll have like a short video that I was able to capture of the lynx walking by the fence once. That's the only time I've ever seen it. So I guess it's Barney and Bam Bam that were living in the Racing Zoo. Then one last drawing of the lioness, kind of like a little paw study. And then I was able to find the fennec fox in a really cute pose, so that was another quick sketch that I did the last time we went to that zoo. And that last trip to the zoo was mostly just to kind of, you know, say bye to the animals, have one quick last look around. And I think this is when we also talked to the zookeeper and found out, I put a bunch of notes here, I guess the two lionesses names were Zuri, which was 7 years old when we went there, and it was the daughter of Azizi, which was a 10-year-old mom. That was the two lionesses there. So at one point they had like the mom, the dad, Zuri, which is the daughter, and two brothers. So at one point they all had 5 lions in that one exhibit, and it was kind of a lot. So eventually Aslan, which was the dad, I guess, died of arthritis in the back legs a couple years ago when we went there. So we kind of got a little bit of a backstory between the animals that were there. And I guess the tiger that was there at the Racing Zoo's name was Naka, and she was 17 years old and 8 pounds a day. They eat 8 pounds a day is what I wrote here. I thought it was kind of interesting. So yeah, they're just random notes that I jotted down from that last visit to the zoo. But anyway, yeah, I hope you enjoy the rest of the videos that I took at the Milwaukee Zoo and the last kind of bit of sketching I did at the Racing Zoo before we left that trip. thank you guys so much for watching part 2 of my visit to the Milwaukee Zoo, and then the last sketches from the Racine Zoo when I went to Wisconsin on vacation back in August. If you did enjoy this video, don't forget to leave it a like and subscribe for more art and animal related content. I upload a new video here every Friday, and I would love for you to become a creative critter with me and follow along on my YouTube journey. My goal for 2022 is to reach 300 subscribers, and I think we're like 40 or so away, which is very exciting. So if you like what I do, you like animals, you like art, take a look around at my channel, see if you like it, and don't be shy to hit subscribe. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay creative, and I will see you in next Friday's video.